Hello everyone! Welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So I got this mold out. I hope you're not tired of it yet, but I do love this mold. And nobody ordered it, but you know I have to revisit a failure. So back if you watched video 766 when I tried to fail, and I also tried to not fail on the same video, and they both failed. And I think it was the interference mica. Some people say that it wasn't, but I'm thinking that it was because I've used mica powder before in a bloom and it worked. So I'm going to do two things on this one. I'm going to put the color around the edge at the same time in this color, peacock green. And I'm going to use my Saya mica powder as the mica in the bloom. Also, of course, my ocean white that I always use for the pigment. So I know that the blue is going to work. It always works and it comes in and you don't have to back coat it. So it could be a one-time thing for your blooms and you don't have to like let it cure and then back coat it with a color. So I'm going to do that, but I don't know if this is going to work. So I'm hoping it works. I usually was mixing up 6 ounces, but it never filled it. So I'm going to mix up 7 ounces and that should be good. And I'm using my fast cure because that's what works out most of the time for me. I haven't used epoxy in a while. I know it works too, but I like the fast cure. So let me mix up some resin and fingers crossed we don't have a failure. As I was mixing it, I realized I cannot use that mold for the technique that I want because this one's edge, whoops, here is so close to the top here that I wouldn't be able to put my color around it. So I can't do that one. So since I mixed up 8 ounces, I'm going to do 2 of the crystal molds. This is my 5 ounce, which is deeper, and this one holds 3 ounce. It's not the weight of the mold. Some people got that wrong. The deeper one, the 5 ounce one on eBay holds 5 ounces and the 3 ounce holds 3 ounces if you want a thinner coaster. So I was like scrambling to clean these because I had to go dig them out of my drawer and everything. I pulled, I didn't put these 2 through the vacuum chamber because I was going to stir them up. So these 2 are going to be the white and the mica powder. And then I'll put them in a bag as these are heating. I was going to pour them back together so they heated faster, but I need some time, so I'm not going to do that. I just separated them so they didn't bubble over in the vacuum chamber. And I hope I did enough. I don't know if I have enough for 2 now. I'm not quite sure that I do. I should probably pour a little bit more in. If we have leftovers, then we have leftovers. I'm glad I made up 8 ounces. So I'm taking my white to just past the transparent stage. Since we're using the 4-hour fast cure, it can hold a deeper color pigment without it dropping. Because I like the really white petals. I don't like the really clearish see-through petals. If you're using regular epoxy, make sure you don't take it as deep. It needs to look like skim milk if you're using regular epoxy. It'll be too heavy and it will fall through. Let me wipe my stick off and see what it looks like here. We're just about there. This is like what I would use if it was regular epoxy. I'm going to go another half a drop deeper. Oops, that's not a half a drop. Just going to wipe a little bit off. And that'll be good for the white. And then I'll mix up, I'm not experienced with mica powders in my blooms. I know people do them, so I know it's possible. I would love to be able to give you the right recipe, if that's what you want to call it, so you guys can do it. Or I would say go find those people who can do it and watch their channels. Let me wipe as I go. This is Mermaid by Saya. And this might actually change color under the blue background that we're gonna have. I'm not gonna go crazy amount, just like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, because I don't want it to ruin my bloom like it did on video 766. Although, I don't know why interference would have anything to do with it. And people ask what interference is, and that's just white, basically, white mica powder with a specific color poking through. So like interference gold, it has a hint of gold, violet, hint of violet. I'm gonna just go with that, not very much. You can see it. I just want some petals to look shimmery, like that color. That's all I'm going for. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. I wish the resin would listen to me, but clearly they have the upper hand here. I'm just gonna get these into my piping bags as I'm still waiting for my resin to heat up over there. I take it to 33, 34 is fine. And then we start piping it in. I'm not using alcohol inks at all, because my background is going to show off the petal today. So that blue is going to kind of come in like it would on a geode style and close over the back of it. I'm just twisting this up and tying it up. That's all I'm doing here. And then I just cut the rest off so it fits in your hand much easier. So that is plenty, more than enough. I need one more bag. If you want to know where I get everything I'm using, make sure you check my description box. If it's not there, then comment and I will get it for you. I try to get everything in there. I'm at 32 and a half. So we're doing good. We're doing good. If I would have poured that back together, we would already be there. So I'm not gonna fill up the whole coaster mold. And whatever is left is what I will mix my blue mica powder in. And then we'll go along the edge, which I really want about 3 ounces left when I'm done pouring my clear. So 8 ounces will fill both of my coaster molds. So I'm thinking it'll work. And again, I'm just twisting it up, tying it up, and cutting it off. And then when we're ready, we'll cut the other end. Okay, we're done with that. Let me make sure. Here's my 3 ounce. This is the 3 ounce. This is the 5 ounce. They don't come square anymore. I make both of them round, so don't think I sent you the wrong one if you're getting a 5 ounce round one. And I was quickly, whenever I use this one last, I clearly painted mica powder around the edge and only poured 3 ounces in there. So I had to get all that mica powder off while I was vacuum chambering everything. Just trying to clean them a little bit. There's a little powder in here, and then it should be ready to pour. Let's see. How much is in this cup? 4 ounces in there, so we're gonna start with the other cup. Okay, we're at 33.4, 33.7. Let's get this out. And again, I'm not filling it all the way up. I'm gonna use the blue to do that. I wonder if I have enough. I should have enough for 2, that's the thing. Although I'm filling some with white. Not sure. I'm not sure I could do 2. Because I want, well, that's good there. Let's see what I have left on here. I only want to take is about half. What's that? Well, that leaves me 2.5. Well, we're going to try it. See what happens since I mixed it up anyway. You don't need a lot of resin to pipe your blooms in. Alright, I am going to spritz these with alcohol, pop surface bubbles, because we still need some time to mix up this one. I'm going to try not to. I'm just going to put it in over here so I don't get it into my molds. I took a decent scoop of it. That's a really pretty color. I think the blue and white. I think the blue will make the white stand out, and I'm hoping the blue changes the color of that Saya powder. And I know I'm mixing bubbles in, but hopefully it will be okay. All right, we need to start piping. Let's start with the white. And I'm not doing anything fancy today. I don't want to do something I don't even know that I'm going to succeed at with some fancy kind of petals. So I'm really just going to do the swirl technique. Just going to cut off the top. I'm going to check. That's good. And start going. And I'm going to keep them wide so I can put that Saya in between there. And then this one. All right, let me get, oh, sorry, let me move these up. I'm sorry you can't see. Hopefully you saw what I was doing. Now for this one, I'm just gonna snip off the top, check it on my paper towel, and go right in between these. My white is blooming already, and these are not perfect. Not perfectly in there. I forgot to do that with my whites. Not that I need to, but I seem to always do that for some reason. So we're gonna go back and do that. Give it a little extra zhuzh. So the petals aren't so, you know, perfect. Let me just fold these over so they don't. Okay, now we're gonna take a dotting tool. We're gonna draw our petals after I pop bubbles. All right, paper towel. Let's go this one first. I'm just going under. I'm not touching the bottom of my mold at all. I'm just going through the surface of it. And a nice swirl in the center. And this will kind of show us the difference between pouring resin deep and shallow and how the blooms come out that way as well. So they're starting to bloom. Now I'm going to take my blue, and all I'm going to do, I don't really like this cup, but okay, we're going to go with it. pour the blue right around the edge. It should close right on top of that flower. It always has before, so if it doesn't work today, I won't know why. I'm just trying to fill it up. This one can use a little more. Gosh, I hope it works. Watch, I'll get the flower right, and then the blue will be wrong for some reason. This one's not totally full, but I don't feel right. They're both not totally full, but I feel like if I put more in, it's gonna sink or something. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna coax my green here to the edge. Or, I mean blue. What is it? Blue, green, aqua color? I don't know. Goodness, I hope this works. Okay. If not, we're doing another one today. I'm just gonna pop all these bubbles. Please work. Now I have this sinking feeling in my stomach. It's not gonna work. All right, I've got some extras. So let me figure out what to pour them into. And should I put you on I'm gonna put you on a little bit of a time lapse. I'm not sure how long I can leave you there though. Well, they're cured, but I don't think they worked. So you guys are gonna like twist my arm to try this again and figure this out on this video. I know you are. I don't think this one worked at all. I don't know about this one. So I don't even want to unmold them. I'm kind of like terrified that I'm not gonna be able to figure this out. And yeah, it didn't work. I knew I did too much of this. That's what I was worried about, but that didn't work either. And I'm wondering if that mica powder is too close to interference powder. That's the only thing I can think of because I don't usually fail at blooms. Yeah, I kind of knew that would happen. I think you have to go really light with the color and a little less color in there. Let's see what happened to this one. I might try one more just to see. Well, the same thing happened, but the bloom worked. Well, isn't that weird? Huh. That is weird, because I did the bloom the exact same way. This one was deeper, remember? But that shouldn't really matter. I've done it deeper. So it came out better on the shallow pour, but I put too much mica powder in the edge. So I'm gonna try it, and you can see, I mean, that's really pretty. You can see the Saya powder in there sparkling through. I know that works. I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to do it in the shallow mold because I know the shallow mold will work. So let me get some resin mixed up. I have some extras sitting here. Some of them need to cool down though. I just poured it in a few other molds. So 2 more turtles, doing tons of turtles. I did use the water ripple mold from Barbara with the extra mica powder. So this is like their pennant mold. This one is the pretty, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna not even use the Saya because that's almost like an interference. I'm gonna go pick another color. Here's a heart. I'll just put some flat bag bales on these. And I will link this if you like this mold. I know a lot of you make jewelry. I love the water ripple molds, and these have all different shapes on it. Whoops. So there's those. I also made her, this is the one I can't unmold yet because the wings go down and it's not quite solid yet. And then this came in Happy Mail too. This was Jesus with praying hands. So I poured some in there. That looks pretty cool. I might have to highlight the flowers so you can see that. Cool. I think I'm not going to do the deep one. I'm just going to do this one and see if I can get the 3 ounce. I'm so confused. Let me see if I could do the 3 ounce. If not, we're going to have to tackle this another day. All right, it's at 34. I debubbled it. Oh, I need some for, I picked a different mica powder, and I'm not going to mix as much. I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce because I don't need that much. I would rather have it for the bloom, and a 1/2 ounce, and I picked pink instead. I'm going to pour some in here, and I'm not going to hold a lot back this time for the blue color. I only want less than 1 ounce. Let me see what I got left. That's still too much. I only want to be able to go around the edge. So let's mix up our colors while that sits here for a few minutes. And gosh, it really bothers me that I don't understand what's going on. Like, it works sometimes and not all the time. So obviously it's user error. It's not something else. I'm just trying to figure out which part it is. And I know that blooms work on better on a really thinner surface than a thicker surface. I do know that. I've learned that quite a long time ago. So that could be the reason it looks nicer on the 3 ounce mold than it does on the 5 ounce mold. It's the backing that I'm not sure of. Let me grab, I'm going to use the lightest pink I can find, which is called Pink by Let's Resin. And let's see, I don't know if you could see what I'm doing. I'm going to just put the smallest amount in there and see what I have. But I want to be able to see the pink, put it that way. So I'm going to add some more to that. That's not enough. But a little bit at a time. I'm not going to go crazy. Hopefully that's enough. It might look like more than it actually is, but I'm barely putting anything in there. I'm not going to put it in a piping bag just for sake of time. I'm just going to pour it. It's just a circular motion anyway. So we're going to use that one. And then for the blue, I guess I just added too much and I made it really heavy. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the pink and just add a little tiny bit until I get some color. I'm just going to add just a tiny bit. I don't want it to sink. And I did add a lot of it. I mean, when I was pouring it in, I don't know if you heard me or the like surprise in my voice, like, oh, I don't know if I should have done that. Okay, I didn't add much. So let's, I was using my little torch to pop bubbles. I had a lot of bubbles coming up and I didn't burn my mold. So I'm gonna try that, keep that from burning. Let me start out by doing this. And then this. And if it works beautifully, then it's the interference for me, but most likely it's not going to work out beautifully. So I'm not going to get my hopes up here. I'm going to put this in a paper cup because I want more control than I had before. I just want to be able to squeeze it and put it around the edges. Let me pop some bubbles. Wait, I need to make my petals first as it's blooming away here. That pink might be really pretty if it works. It's blooming like crazy already. Center. Okay, now I'm going to go around the edge, and I'm not going to put a ton in this time. I do want it to cover the back though. I think Petra does this a lot, and I might have to ask her what the trick is. Petra, if you're watching, let me know what I'm doing wrong. I want to be able to get this. That's all I'm going to do. It's not even filled up. So I'm going to have a few extras. Not much, but I will. All right, I'll put you on a little time lapse. They're ready to demold. I'm not too confident. It didn't do a lot of moving. Here are the extras with the bales on them. They came out so pretty. And then I took this one and I put brown on the hair and silver on the roses and a few magnets. So those are those. Here's some more extras. I just mixed these together. Oh, that looks pretty. I love the mica powders. And I literally just went back to watch Petra's video, her most recent one, and she used the tray that I was going to use today. And it worked, and she did it differently. So if this didn't work, and you guys want to hang on another 15 minutes, ooh, look at that color. I'm going to do what she did, but we'll see if this one worked first. Those are so cute. I just love those little things. All right, let's get this out. Well, it kind of did work. This edge didn't pull in as much as I wanted it to. I really wanted it to come like to here. And I don't know how to do that. But my pink worked. Can you see the pink petals? My bloom worked. Pretty happy with that. This one's not too bad. And somebody gave me a great suggestion. Instead of getting rid of my bloopers, they said, why don't you sell your bloopers as bloopers for a discounted price? So that's what I'm going to do, so I don't toss them. So if you want bloopers, look on my eBay store and just search bloopers, and they'll be really cheap. Oh, this one, I'm pretty happy with it. I like it in the thinner mold, I guess. Do you think oh, let me grab this one. We didn't unmold this one yet. This is that Into Resin butterfly one that Barbara just sent me. And this is water ripple as well. See how the wings go way down? So you don't want to take this out when it's warm. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Couple flyaway glitters in there, but who cares? Oh my gosh, I love that. And it sits like that. So the wings are up. Love that. So you can even put like a magnet there and you'll have a three-dimensional butterfly on your refrigerator. That is such a pretty color. All right, do you guys want to stick around for a couple more minutes? Yes? No? Maybe so? Well, if you want to stick around, stick around. If you want to hit the road, hit the road. I know you guys got a lot to do too. But now that I saw Petra do that, I'm going to try. And she used pigment paste. She didn't use mica powder on her edge, although she has used mica powder in the past. But the most recent one, And I will try to remember to link her video in my description box. But the most recent one she did in the molds and shapes tray that I was gonna do was pigment paste. So let me get some stuff together. I'm gonna give you a double bonus. Here we go again, trial number 4. So I've already mixed up my white. It's already in the bag. Didn't need you there for that. I put 2.5 ounces in here. I did not run this through the bubble remover, the vacuum chamber. I did put this one through. We're going to use the Eye Candy Suico Blue. She used the pigment paste. I'm going to try a pigment paste. And her pigment paste was pretty shimmery. So they probably made it from a mica powder. So mine is not shimmery. So not sure if that's going to make a difference or not. But we're going to try it. And then I'm done for the day. Like, this should have been like 2 or 3 separate videos, but because I have a huge lineup and I'm not gonna run out of content, I need to get this into this video. So I hope you're still with me. I hope you might get to see the result of something that might actually work. Now, I'm not gonna use the mica powder in the petals this time. I remember it looking like that the last time, and it looked like it made my petals heavy, and now I remember why I haven't used mica after all that trying. Now I remember why I didn't really use mica. So I don't know, not for now. So I'm gonna watch the temperature of this. It's not there yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove these bubbles, and then I will pour in a second. We are at 33 degrees, and what she did on this mold, because like I said, this is almost even with this, but barely. She had poured this around her edge. I think she went to the top, pretty close anyway. And then she dumped her clear in to do the bloom. And then it kind of came up and over. I might not have enough blue in there. She probably had more than that, but I'm not quite sure if I should add more or not. I feel like I should add more. I better add more. I'm gonna do another, I don't know, that much. I'm gonna do another that much. Let me mix it in. Do I need more paste? I don't know. I don't think so. It'll blend with this one because it's not looking too even to get it to go up and over that edge. So I'm gonna do, that took probably 3 ounces. 3 of the 7 anyway. And that is just about high enough. It actually could probably use more. But it was hard to tell on her video, so I think I'm gonna stick with that because once I pour the clear in, it should go up and over. Let me get that out of there. And I might just do something other than a swirl this time because I have a feeling it might work. A little hair in there. Fuzzy of some sort. Hang on. Sorry if you hear the air purifier behind me. I forgot to turn it off the auto mode. And since I'm mixing resin, it picked up the VOCs in my room and automatically went on. So I'm just gonna leave it on. It's probably not that horrible in the video, so I do apologize. All right, let me get a dotting tool. Now we're just gonna dump in, wipe my stick, I don't want any blue on there. Gonna pour in the clear. All of it. If it doesn't work with this pigment paste, I bet you it would work with mica powder. By putting that down first and then dumping your clear to get the reaction, kind of like in a geode pour. I'm kind of all putting this all together in my head right now of what I'm doing wrong. All right, let's see. I've got some bubbles in there that I don't want. A little fuzz in there. All right, well, oh, there's another one there. Hang on. I don't want to not do this thinking it's gonna fail and then it come out beautiful and I have a couple bloopers in there. I'm just gonna, where is it? I don't like using my torch that much. Not on these nice molds, put it that way. And I don't like bubbles in there when I'm doing blooms. That is one key to a good bloom, is to have no bubbles in your resin. All right, let's get piping. I'm going to do, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a teardrop, I think. I haven't done that yet. Well, I guess it looks like a petal. I'm probably gonna have that blob in the center. What is falling off of my gloves? Like little pieces of resin. I'm just gonna do, oh, these I did triangles once before. Let's try to keep these round, Michelle. Doing it upside down though is a little difficult. It pretty much doesn't matter what shape you choose to do, because all of the shapes that I've done, and these are not even equal, so we're really going to have something to look at. I'm even going to overlap some of them. I just want to get done to see how the blue is creeping up and over. I wanted to get done piping before that happened. And I am going to get bigger at the end because that's how a flower works. And if nothing else, we're going to have a pretty border and hopefully a good bloom, since I'm not messing it up with a mica powder this time. As long as this petal works, it should be good to go. And I might go back and overlap some to use most of my whites. Might look like a carnation, actually. I got a lot of white left. Let's just go and fill in some of these spots. I need to fix some of these blobs though. I don't want those blobbing down. I'm just gonna help them move. So if you have these little blobs at the end, just take your dotting tool and just help them move first before the resin does it by itself. And that should help. I am gonna swirl my center. I'll do a couple more. I don't know if it's gonna work out here on the paste area, but heck, it's an experiment day at this point, right? All right, I'm not gonna overdo it. There's another piece of whatever that is. There must be something on my gloves. I'm just gonna help these little blobs I just made. That one's good. Let's just pull that one out. And yep, done. It's very late at night. There will be no time lapse tonight. So I'm gonna give it a quick torch. Carefully. Gosh, I hope I'm not fusing this to my bloom. You can even take your heat gun if you want to, which I think I will help it for a second. Grab it. It's all behind everything, so give me a minute here. I see another piece of whatever is on my gloves. It's going in here. And your heat gun will pop your bubbles too. And I think that's it for today. I'm just trying to see if I missed anything. I don't think so. All right, toodles. Well, it's the next morning. It looks like it worked, but if it didn't work, I don't have time to do another one for this video if you want one tomorrow, so we're gonna have to put it to bed for a while. These are the only two that I had left from this one, which came out really pretty because I marbled them together, the white and the blue. So I'll go ahead and put bails on those, but I don't know. The blue, see, this is what I wanted over here. See how that stopped there? I wanted it to do that. So that definitely worked. The only thing that didn't work, my bloom did not close all the way. So before I turned in for the evening, I helped it. I just took a dotting tool and it was really sticky and it stopped blooming about this whole section. For some reason, that's never happened on this tray before. So I took my dotting tool and I dragged the white all the way into the center to help it, and then I re-swirled the center. So that's the only thing I did without ya. But I don't know, I've done this tray before and it bloomed all the way, so I'm not quite sure what happened last night. All right, please, please, please have worked. Ready? Oh, it worked. Oh, I'm so happy. Huh. So the mica did not work. Okay, so I do like the pink, like I said, but do you see the difference in petals? See how heavy these were, and they all kind of sank, and they're really thick. I didn't pipe it any bigger, and these are much smoother. So that's the difference that I'm talking about between mica powder in your white or with your white than without. Oh my gosh, it worked. Thank God. Thank God it worked. And the petals are pretty, even though they were teardrops. I don't think it matters. You can kind of see the teardrop shape, but a couple of blobs, but those don't bother me at all. They look beautiful. Oh, thank God that's done. I figured. So if I do it again, or if you try it, I would try pigment paste. It was probably less heavy than the mica powder. That's my guess. But the edge is beautiful blue. Oh, I'm so happy. So, so happy. All right, well, I've got a couple bloopers available. I've got this will be available. This, I will just give it away. I don't know. We'll see. All right, well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for hanging in there for extra bonus material. I will see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day, everyone. Bye.